Deploying large language models presents a strange paradox. During the training phase, these massive networks easily saturate the raw computational capacity of modern GPUs. But inference, actually generating text for a user, operates under completely different physical constraints. Because text is generated sequentially, the processor spends most of its time starving for data. To understand why this happens, we have to look at the central metric of hardware efficiency: arithmetic intensity. This is the exact mathematical ratio of floating-point operations executed for every byte of memory accessed. This chart illustrates the roofline performance model for a modern GPU, mapping arithmetic intensity against actual performance in teraflops. The angled slope represents the physical limit of memory bandwidth, while the flat ceiling represents the absolute limit of compute capacity. For a chip like the NVIDIA H100, these lines intersect at a specific ridge point, around 591 operations per byte. When a system receives an initial prompt, it enters the pre-fill phase. Because the entire input sequence is known, the GPU processes all those tokens simultaneously in a massive parallel matrix multiplication. The arithmetic intensity spikes into the hundreds, placing this phase squarely on the compute-bound ceiling. But once the first token is generated, the model shifts into the autoregressive decode phase. To generate the next word, the system lists stream billions of parameters from memory to perform a tiny mathematical operation against a single token. The arithmetic intensity collapses to roughly 1 or 2 operations per byte. At this point, the GPU's tensor cores are effectively stranded. They sit idle, burning clock cycles while they wait for data to slowly travel across the physical memory bus. The central engineering challenge of scaling LLM inference is finding a way to artificially raise the arithmetic intensity of that decode phase. We have to utilize that stranded compute power while systematically dodging the massive memory bottlenecks this optimization creates. The most direct method to raise arithmetic intensity is batching. By grouping multiple independent user requests together, the inference engine can load the massive weight matrices into the processor once and reuse them across several different sequences. The traditional approach to this is static batching. The system groups a fixed number of requests and processes them collectively until every single sequence in the batch has generated its final token. This creates the straggler problem. Text generation lengths vary. A factual query might be 10 words, while coding output might be 1,000. Static batching forces the shorter sequences to stay locked in the GPU. The system injects padding tokens just to maintain the dense, rectangular matrix shapes required by the hardware. In a production environment, this leaves the GPU executing useless math for up to 80% of its cycles. Meanwhile, new requests are blocked from entering the active pool, stuck behind a single long generation in a phenomenon known as head-of-line blocking. While some systems use dynamic time windows to compile batches, this fails to solve the text generation problem. Once the batch launches, it remains strictly locked until the longest request finishes. The modern standard for this problem is continuous batching, also known as iteration-level scheduling. Instead of waiting for a batch to finish, the continuous scheduler evaluates the entire active pool after every single token is generated. The moment a sequence emits an end token, it is immediately evicted. The freed resources are instantaneously reallocated to admit a new request from the queue, bringing it directly into the active generation pool for the very next micro-iteration. To compute this constantly shifting geometry, systems employ selective batching. The scheduler takes the non-attention layers of the model and mathematically flattens them, turning the varying length sequences into one massive one-dimensional data stream that the hardware matrix multipliers can process uniformly. Shifting scheduling to the micro-iteration level solves compute padding waste, but this high-velocity admission transfers the system bottleneck entirely to the physical management of memory. As continuous batching dynamically pulls more traffic into the GPU, the limiting factor stops being computational speed and becomes the high bandwidth memory required to store the key value cache. Every generated token requires the model to cache its context states. This formula maps the total memory footprint of that cache. It scales linearly based on the number of transformer layers, attention heads, and the precision format, but the most volatile variables are sequence length and concurrent batch size. Look at how this equation scales in practice. Serving a single user at a 4,000 token context length takes about 1.3 gigabytes of cache, but scale that to 16 concurrent users at a 16,000 token context length, and the cache footprint surges to 86 gigabytes. That exceeds the entire physical memory capacity of many enterprise GPUs before the model weights are even loaded. Early serving setups tried to manage this by pre-allocating contiguous blocks of video memory the moment a request arrived, based entirely on the user's defined maximum token limit. Because most generation finishes well before hitting that maximum limit, this rigid setup created catastrophic internal fragmentation. The system effectively walled off 60 to 80% of its usable memory capacity, dedicating it to tokens that would never actually exist. Solving this requires page detention, which applies classical operating system virtual memory paradigms directly to the GPU hardware. Under page detention, the cache is divided into small, fixed-size physical blocks. Instead of claiming a massive chunk of contiguous memory up front, the system maintains a dynamic mapping table. As sequences generate new tokens, small physical memory blocks are pulled from a free pool and mapped to the user entirely on demand. Because these physical memory blocks no longer need to sit next to each other in VRAM, internal memory fragmentation drops to under 4%. Virtualizing the memory space through page detention allows the high-velocity admissions of continuous batching to proceed without triggering frequent out-of-memory crashes. Even with memory perfectly mapped, continuous batching creates an inherent pipeline conflict. It forces the massively compute-bound prezel phase and the memory-bound decode phase to operate concurrently on the exact same hardware. This leads to prefill decode interference. If a newly admitted request contains a massive 32,000 token document, its prefill computation completely monopolizes the GPU's compute cores. All other active sequences are effectively stalled, starving users of their ongoing decode tokens. To mitigate this, engineers developed chunked prefill. The scheduler algorithmically partitions the incoming prompt into smaller, equal-sized segments. In each iteration, the engine processes exactly one prefill chunk alongside a full batch of decode steps. The decode tokens piggyback on the compute-bound operation, which smooths out latency spikes and maintains a steady generation rate. Prompt parsing efficiency is only part of the solution. In agentic workflows, systems repeatedly process identical system instructions, wasting compute recalculating context the GPU has already seen. Frameworks address this with radix attention. Instead of isolating memory per request, the system organizes the cache as a global, compressed prefix tree. Identical context pathways are structured as a shared root, which then splits into discrete branches for individual user responses. When a new prompt arrives, the scheduler matches it against this tree and bypasses the prefill phase entirely for those specific tokens. By reusing the cached states, duplicate memory footprints collapse by up to 99%. However, even with algorithmic chunking, using uniform hardware for both phases is financially inefficient. You are forced to provision GPU clusters for the worst-case scenario of both phases, meaning you are effectively overpaying for compute power during decoding and overpaying for memory bandwidth during prefill. This physical tension is driving the transition toward disaggregated inference, cleaving the pipeline into specialized pools of compute-dense prefill workers and bandwidth-optimized decode nodes. There is an absolute boundary limit to massive batching. Certain interactive workloads, like real-time voice agents, demand absolute minimum latency per token, a metric that high concurrency cannot strictly guarantee on its own. To drop latency further, engineers deploy speculative decoding. A small, computationally cheap draft model rapidly proposes a sequence of candidate tokens. Then, the large target model evaluates all of those proposed tokens simultaneously in a single parallelized pass. But speculative decoding introduces severe architectural friction. It demands absolute mathematical output equivalence, meaning the final text must exactly match what the large model would have generated. In a highly batched environment, this equivalence breaks down. This triggers the ragged tensor problem. Sequence A accepts all 4 proposed tokens, while sequence B rejects the draft after just 1. Rows instantly expand at different rates. In the next iteration, sequences are completely desynchronized in their position IDs, attention masks, and memory states. Because hardware accelerators strictly require dense, rectangular matrix layouts, the computational penalty to fix this is massive. Realigning these ragged shapes back into uniform matrices requires intensive masking and rollback operations that can consume up to 40% of total compute time. In highly saturated environments, the mathematical overhead required to stitch these ragged tensors back together outpaces the speculative gains. Instead of accelerating the model, it results in an active reduction of total system throughput. The engineering behind large language model inference is an unrelenting mathematical balancing act between arithmetic intensity and memory bandwidth. Continuous batching provides the foundational efficiency required for production, but optimal performance requires page attention, chunked prefill scheduling, and radix routing. As frontier models continue to grow in parameter count and context length, deploying them optimally requires moving beyond uniform hardware. It requires hypergranular, iteration-level orchestration over physically disaggregated topologies. Sustaining the growth of artificial intelligence requires engineering the absolute physical limit out of every floating point operation and memory byte.